Hello, welcome. I have a theory about things. So when we think about hit points in D&D, I find a lot of people describing horrible, gory, awful injuries that could possibly end your life. And not to call out the entirety of Bleach, but I think it's kind of weird to have a story where people just keep getting gored and get back up somehow. Now I know it's cool and fun to be like, the orc takes his sword and stabs you through your chest. You have a giant gaping hole. But if we want to be more accurate about the way we describe damage and hit points, we really shouldn't do that, because if you have a hole in your chest, you're dying. Now, the player's handbook describes it as a combination of luck, durability, physical or mental, and explicitly states that the loss of hit points does not affect one's ability to operate until you reach 0 hit points. But what does it mean when someone hits you with an attack then? Now, there are actually a number of ways that you could handle this situation that's not just infinitely goring your player characters, even though I admit that's kind of fun. The first thing I think about when I think about taking damage is exhaustion. Usually it's someone getting tired, losing their wind, or generally not being able to fight as hard as one would if they were at full energy. But obviously, adrenaline keeps you going. You could also think of it, though, as the person getting more and more nervous that this may be the last time they indeed are in a fight, as they seem closer and closer to being killed. Or you could be really, really, really semantic about it, and you could say, the person hits you with an attack, and that leaves the tiniest little cut on maybe your hand, and you bleed a little, and that's how much physical damage one hit point takes. But I encourage everyone to think about each one, as each one is a different kind of damage, and each one could affect a player character differently. For example, if you're playing a barbarian, getting a little cut on your hand is not that big a deal. It might not even do damage to a barbarian to actually cut them. But if they realize that they're not on their game like they normally are, and they are for some reason performing less well, they're going to get mad and maybe more reckless. Of course, that could work to their advantage, but in this case, we're saying it doesn't. But if you're a wizard and you get cut, just a little, with your hit dice, you could die right then and there. But anyways, that's just a theory I have. You can play however you want.